I got an official diagnosis of my mental illnesses around the age of 22. That's when I went to see a psychologist, and we had the conversation, and she definitively said, well, hey, you are being diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. And that was at that point in time. And that came hot on the heels of my grandfather passing. He passed the December prior, and I got the diagnosis in February. And the reason why I thought to go get things sorted out was because I wasn't coping very well. I realized that during his period of convalescence, I wasn't crying like the others. The others were feeling very emotional, and I was just there. And it affected me in my subconscious. And in speaking and seeking out the therapist, it's only then I realized that I had some other challenges that were preventing me from fully experiencing and expressing these emotions. And so it was at that point that I knew something was a bit more off than on in terms of my mental space. When you get a diagnosis like major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, later last year I got diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and then again with ADHD. And so there's a whole cocktail of things going on in my mind that seems to, for some people, seems to be enough for me to be called a mad person. But I don't fit the picture of a mad person. And so it kind of shocks people when I say these things. But after starting the medication and going through that process and learning some more about how these emotions develop, how these illnesses develop, the triggers for them, where they could have come from, it did cause me to lose some friends. It did cause me to lose some family members. And the reason being is that you understand more when you're informed what things are not serving you. So I understood that going to certain places would be triggering for me, and so I couldn't go any longer. The interactions with certain family members were also triggering to me, couldn't do that any longer. And so when you learn those skills, those cognitive skills, those behavioral skills to manage your mental health, sometimes it may mean that you have to shift behaviors that you've long become accustomed to. And it could be difficult for you. It doesn't have to be with family. If you're a person who enjoys a slight drink, maybe smoking, if you're someone who enjoys going out for a bar crawl or something of the sort, you may realize later on that after you go out for that crawl or that hit or that drive, that there's a crash. And you think it's fine, you enjoy that, but you seek therapy and realize that this is one of the things that may be triggering you, and so you have to stop that. All your friends in that space, all the people who were around you when you were doing that are going to be upset. They're going to think, well, oh, he's become so high and mighty, he's thinking about his mental health, he's become Mahatma Gandhi. But really and truly, it's for you as a person to take control of your mental health, because your health is your first wealth. There are persons in my life who are aware of what a mental illness is, what mental health is, but there are other persons in my life who have no idea what it is and thinks it's a hoax. I'll tell you what, the spectrum of conversations when I started to talk about my mental health was, on the one hand, we're happy for you for seeking this out, we're happy for you for seeking therapy and seeking help, but on the other hand, you need a bit more prayers. It's a spirit on you. You need to pray about this and get this demon out. And so we have those traditional understandings of what it means to be a bit upset in the mind. And I think what was the deal breaker, or really what brought us together, was COVID. I think during COVID, everyone had an opportunity to sit at home with themselves, no one else, with themselves, and really process and understand how their mind works. I want to see commitment. I want to see governmental commitment. I want to see commitment from our Prime Minister. I want to see commitment from the Director General of the World Health Organization and the ministers here at this conference from the Small Island Developing States. We're at a stage in life with the climate crisis, with the health crisis, mental health, other non-communicable diseases, where we can't put it off any longer. And so we can't just have another talk shop where we come, we sit down, we discuss, we have tea, and we leave. We have persons who are committed. I'm committed. I've said before, and I'll say it again today in my speech, that I am here ready, willing, raring to go and assist whoever wants to build out a youth mental health strategy. If you want to develop a NCD strategy that is focusing on youth, that is rights-based, I'm here to support you, and I have other persons who will be willing to support you. Basically what I'm getting out there is that we're sitting here as young people, we're looking forward to our future, and we're seeing a very bleak thing beyond. We want it to be better. It must be better. We demand that it be better. The decisions that are made today at this conference, the decisions made by prime ministers and leaders and director generals today, it'll affect some part of their future, but they'll be gone long before us under the normal circumstances, and we will have to live with those decisions. And so it is necessary that at the highest level, youth are engaged at every step of the way, from the inception to the execution, and even afterwards to the post-mortem. I want to see out of this conference more young persons brought to the forefront as key speakers, thought leaders, and experts in their own rights in this space, so we can work together to combat the issues we have with NCDs and mental health challenges.